Can you manage and lead a team from behind the screen? But how do you do it effectively? Hey folks, my name is Najeeb Khan and I've been working remotely for 13 years. Yep, you heard that right, 13. And in all these years of working remotely, there's one thing for sure, that remote work is here to stay. So today, let's take a deep dive into some easy communication tips that'll help you run your work much smoother. Now, I know that working remotely can be somewhat challenging, but mastering it only serves as benefits in the long run for your team as well as your work. The number one tip, it's over-communication. When you over-communicate, that is the first and foremost thing to help you work in a remote setting. Because often the team cannot actually read your minds or your body language, especially if they're miles away or if they're not even seeing you on video. So instead of just saying, let's get this done, provide clarity and define what done looks like. You can also use communication tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams to keep things in real time. Staying engaged with your team is how you keep your team engaged. Tip number 2, video calls. Let's admit it, we are all familiar with video these days. Yes, emails are great, but how many times can you actively focus on your emails, especially when you get hundreds of emails a day? Sometimes, in order not to break the monotony of overall remote working, video calls actually work great. So if you feel comfortable, turn on that camera, make eye contact and engage, because this builds trust and familiarity with your teams. According to a study from Forbes, 62% of executives agreed that video meetings actually improve communication with teams. Tip number 3, using tools for flexibility. Now, not everyone is in the same time zone, and that's okay. Tools like Loom or async updates in Trello or other platforms can actually help keep the flow without going overboard with constant Zoom meetings. And my personal tip is just keeping a screenshot of the different time zones based on the requirements of your team or where they are on your desktop wallpaper. So it's always there whenever you need it. Let me know in the comments, how do you manage your different time zones easily? Tip number 4, being empathetic. Remote teams can often feel like isolated, so showing empathy builds trust and also helps boost morale. Listen to your team and take regular feedback. Ask open-ended questions like, how are you finding your workload? How are you actually doing? Or is there anything that can make your work experience better? But it's not only that, listen to your team and make those changes. Sometimes a simple, how are you, can make a big difference in a remote work setting. Effective communication isn't just about talking, it's about connecting. It's the right approach that can transform a remote team from disconnected to fully engaged, but it varies on the team. So remember, when in doubt, just communicate or over-communicate. Till next time.